In the beginning, there was a free press. Well, not really, but it sounded good. By the end of the millennium, 5 men controlled the world's media, and not one of them had a vagina. Yet there was one man who operated outside their control. He and his motley crew were known as the People's Democratic Republic of Television. Their mission? To bring the people the awful truth. Tonight, from somewhere inside the PDR TV, please welcome Michael Moore.
Thank you! Thank you! Thank you! Thank you very much! Thank you! Thank you very much! Thank you! Welcome, citizens of the People's Democratic Republic of Television! It is I, Chairman Moore! Nah, it's just me, Mike. I always wanted to do that. Like Madonna and Evita. Now, you know, we're sort of a new country, a young country, PDR TV, and like any new country, you know, we try to expand. I mean, we want more people into our ranks. And so like any new country that expands, you sort of head west and wipe out Native Americans. And in this country alone, we have people buying up the country. It's not enough for now for the rich where, you know, they just like we say, well, they own a lot of stuff. It's not that just that they own a lot of stuff. They're actually literally, they're buying up the country. Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? You'll know what I mean. Watch this.
Ah, money. It sure is great. You can buy anything with it. A big car, a fancy house, maybe even a whole country. Yeah, some people are so filthy rich these days, they actually own countries. Of course, this could never happen here. Or could it? Ross Perot, Steve Forbes, and Senator John Kerry are just a few of the mega-rich guys chasing after the presidency. With the rich getting richer every second, it's only a matter of time before someone buys themselves a 4-year term in the White House. Someone like media mogul Ted Turner. Ted Turner for president? Ted Turner for president? I couldn't believe it. Still, he'd be a formidable candidate. He's worth around $6 billion.
It is nice to be rich. Rich is better than poor.
Owns a big chunk of the world's media.
I want to see what it's like to be big before I die.
And he's married to actress Jane Fonda, whose instructional videotapes have inspired guys like me to just do it. If she isn't first lady material, who is? Plus, Ted's got enough kooky ideas for several presidencies.
They thought I was, you know, a little bit loony. You bet you're bippy. There's a thin line between madness and brilliance. I mean, you have to, and in fact, the most dangerous kind of competitor is one who is a little mad.
He's an advocate of world peace, who just happens to own a professional wrestling league. He owns the largest herd of bison in North America, and his passion for bison meat, called beefalo, seems a little unhealthy. He's entertaining all right, but the presidency shouldn't be something you can just buy like a baseball team. I had to stop this guy. I started looking into Ted's riches, and I discovered something interesting. Ted's the biggest private landowner in the United States. He owns 1.5 million acres of America, from the mighty Rockies of Montana.
Ted bought everything this way and back all the way through.
Across the road, too?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all of this.
To the rolling prairies of New Mexico.
Ted Turner owns property back this direction, back this direction, back this direction.
He's our biggest landowner in New Mexico.
Landowner in New Mexico, Ted
Right,
Turner.
I agree.
But as the senator from the state where he's buying up the state, you're not worried
No,
about
I
any
think
kind of
he's the biggest
secession,
landowner in Montana.
Secession, yes, Montana
gonna have
too,
to
I
go.
know.
Altogether, Ted's country has more land than Luxembourg and a bigger gross domestic product than Belize. Maybe if Ted realized that he was already the ruler of a perfectly good country, he wouldn't want to run ours. Look, Ted's country already has an immigration policy.
Now, if visitors come to visit Ted's country here, do they have to have any special papers, visas, passports, anything like that? No. Oh, that makes it easy.
As long as they respect private property.
Well-defined borders, and a navy, even though it consists entirely of unarmed racing yachts. And he has a national pastime.
We've talked about kick in the back of the head.
All he was missing was a few of the little things that make a country a country. That's where I could help. So I gave the country a name, Turdonia. I also made it a flag, a currency, the Ted, and postage stamps with a choice between young Ted and old Ted. To help us write Ted a constitution, we brought in Charles Rudnick, a lawyer who's worked for such exciting new countries as Bosnia.
My friend who has his country, kind of a new country, he doesn't need all this, highfalutin language. He just needs something really basic, really simple.
Do you want to have provisions usually for an executive branch?
Executive branch. Wow, this part's actually very short. Ted. Beefalo. How do you spell beefalo? What else we got?
Bill of Rights?
Nah, he doesn't need a Bill of Rights. That's just filler. Give me a first good line for a constitution. It was a
dark and stormy.
All citizens of Turdonia work for Ted.
The vice Ted shall be Jane of the gyrating hips, who shall reign in Ted's stead.
Cable is a God-given right.
I scattered the soil of Turdonia to the four winds.
Sorry, sir.
Of course, to make Turdonia an official country, we had to get it a seat in the United Nations. But that was practically a formality. Shoot, he'd already given the UN $1 billion. And that's American dollars, not Turdonian Teds.
I represent a new country. Can you tell me what I have to do here to become a member of the UN?
There has to be a letter from the government of that country.
Actually, I have that letter.
Oh, okay.
This letter is to officially request consideration of the country of Turdonia for admission to the United Nations.
And you are pledging to abide by the provisions of the Charter?
Absolutely.
Excellent. So the letter will be forwarded to the Security Council.
Perhaps someday I, as ambassador from Turdonia, would hold this chamber spellbound with my fiery speeches in favor of UN-funded aerobics programs. Mr. Chairman, let them eat beefalo. Whew. Now that Ted has his own official country, America's fragile experiment in democracy was safe. Impossible future presidents like Dennis Hassard, Mary Bono, or Jesse the Mind Ventura would get there the way the founders intended, by raising huge amounts of money from other rich people.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of Turdonia and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under Ted, with classic movies and beefalo for all.
Well, why did you write that?
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And now it's time to find out what our fellow citizens are thinking. It's time for this week's Awful Truth. Thank you very much. Now, we love guns in this country. We love to shoot guns. We love to kill people. And our kids love it too. And in the last year or so, a number of students have gone into schools with semi-automatic weapons. And something, in my opinion, very tragic has happened. They go into the school. There's 300 to 400 kids in the cafeteria. They open fire, and what happens? They only kill like 2 or 3 of them. I mean, what does this look like to the rest of the world when you got 300 targets and you can only hit 2 of them when you got a semi-automatic weapon and they got no weapon? I mean, come on, what is going on with our young people these days? I mean, this is the problem with our educational system. Once again, not teaching kids, in this case, the proper way to fire a gun and kill somebody. Well, I decided I was going to do something about that, and so tonight, I'm starting Mike's Teen Sniper School, and I would like to show you this promotional video that I made to get some students into my school.
Welcome to the Teen Sniper School, where your kids will learn the practical art of hunting humans. First, they study the history of school killing, including the technique and style of such young marksmen as Michael Carneal, Andrew Golden, and Kip Kinkle. Then it's on to the firing range. Sure, a headshot is tough, but students know it's a guaranteed kill. But the Teen Sniper School is more than just a total immersion course in firearms proficiency. It's fun. Days are filled with arts and crafts, fishing, sports and games, like egg racing.
Loser, egg face. Hey, look, he's got egg all over his face.
And extracurricular activities with other schools. At the Teen Sniper School, students learn from real-life situations. Who do you take out first? The quarterback? The popular girl? Or the honor student? Why, the quarterback, of course, before he tackles you. Then take your time and clear the rest of the cafeteria. Experts are unanimous. Guns are like foreign languages. It's best to start them young.
This is a very valuable program.
So the Teen Sniper School offers courses for kids as young as pre-kindergarten. Just listen to what satisfied students say.
I really liked it and I had a lot of fun.
My little brother better watch out when I get home. But when I started, I couldn't even hit the fat kids. Now I'm a real sniper. I'm gonna get on TV for sure.
Now, you may have heard about an unpleasant incident at our school last year.
I hate you! I hate you all!
But rest assured, we've taken strong measures to make sure it never happens again. From now on, students must wait at least 5 days after their most recent incident of animal torture before they can enroll in Teen Sniper School. Besides, he still managed to kill 8 students and an instructor. And that's a new school massacre record, the Teen Sniper School. Because your kids deserve a shot too. The Teen Sniper School is fully accredited by the National Rifle Association. Financial aid available for qualified students. Tuition does not include room and board, ammunition, or life insurance.
Remember back in the 80s when Ronald Reagan decided he was going to go to Bitburg and lay wreaths on the graves of Nazi SS soldiers? Do you remember this? I mean, when it happened, I couldn't believe it. And I was in, Flint at the time, and my good buddy Gary, we were sitting around watching this on TV, and, we're saying, man, this is really messed up, Reagan doing this. And Gary's parents, both of them were survivors of Auschwitz. And I said to him, they got these cheap airfares, like $99 to Germany. Let's get on a plane in Detroit and just go over there and, let's just go mess Reagan up. And so he said, yeah, let's go do that. So we just got on a plane and we flew over to Bitburg, and we landed there, and there were like 20 different police checkpoints around the town that you had to get through in order to get into the cemetery where Reagan was going to lay the wreath. And we're thinking, wow, how are we going to get through this? And fortunately, Gary spoke perfect German, and I spoke perfect bullshit. And so we were able to get through all of the checkpoints. We got into the cemetery, and all of a sudden we see all these German soldiers and cops with guns and billy clubs, and we're going, oh man, we were really scared because we'd brought this bed sheet. I had it stashed in my coat that we were going to whip out this big sign to Reagan when he got out. So I saw Pierre Salinger from ABC News standing nearby in the cemetery, and I went over to him and I said, Mr. Salinger, we're not part of the press here, or part of the German greeting committee. We're actually going to do a little demonstration here. We're not part of any organized group or anything. We just kind of were, having some pizza in Detroit and just decided to get on a plane. And well, like, we're really nervous. We're going to get the crap beat out of us by these Germans. So would you please, like, put the camera, get, like, right there so that they won't, because I got a feeling the last thing the Germans want to do today is to beat a Jew in the Bitburg Cemetery. So he goes, okay, don't worry. And so Reagan's limo comes in the cemetery. He gets out of the limousine. Gary and I whip out the bed sheet. It says, "We came from Michigan to remind you they murdered my family." And at that moment, man, all the Germans just surround us. They got their billy clubs out, and they grab each of us, and they got their clubs out. They're ready, like, just to crack our heads open. And at that moment, they just, like, turned, and there's Pierre Salinger with his camera, and they're going like this. Oh, I want to be the Jew. Oh, damn. And so, thank God, they just like dragged us out of there, but they didn't they hurt us or anything. And it ended up all across. It was live on national television. It was in Newsweek. It was all over the place, and it put all this egg on Reagan's face, and it was really incredible. We saw just like two guys sitting around could just like do something like this, and it was. So, lately, the Nazis in Detroit have been in the news again because it's been uncovered that General Motors actually used slave laborers in their factories, that were the Opel factories that were actually kept going during World War II, and a lot of other American companies use these slave laborers. And in fact, while we were over there, we thought we'd go down to Switzerland just to check that out, because we'd always heard great things about the Swiss, and they are really nice people. I mean, they're neutral, and they never start any wars, and they got lots of really good chocolate, which we like, the great watches, and they just got this blind spotted apparently, because what they did during the war, they actually took the money that the Nazis stole from the victims of the Holocaust and then put it in Nazi Swiss bank accounts. And then after the war was over, the Swiss banks refused to give it back to the victims of the Holocaust. And they've hung on to it for all these years. And I just thought, man, what's their problem? And I thought, well, maybe it's because, how the Swiss are, maybe they're not that trusting. Maybe they don't, trust the groups that are asking for the money back. And I thought, well, geez, who could we send over to Switzerland that they would trust to hand over the money? And then I came up with just the right man.
We don't owe anything to anyone, you see.
Das Geld, das gehört dem Schweizer Volk und niemand anderem.
It made our feelings against the Jews not better.
And from the tax, you want it? The money from that? From the gold?
When it comes to business, relationships are everything. The Swiss can't hand over their cash to a bunch of strangers. It needs to be someone they trust, someone they feel comfortable with.
It's good to be back.
I hadn't been to Zurich in over 50 years, but the people were just as I remembered them. Dependable, loyal, friendly. I foresaw no problems getting the cash. First stop, the National Bank.
Excuse me? Can you help me, please? I would like to make a withdrawal. Sir?
This is what happens when you loan people money.
Hello? Perhaps.
Back in the good old days, the National Bank had gladly accepted billions of dollars of my gold, and they have refused to give a single franc of it to Holocaust survivors. These people understand me.
Just see this gentleman? Oh. Can you help me? I'm trying to make... Who are you, please? My name is Hitler, Adolf Hitler. I should look a little familiar.
Please go outside.
Now look, this gentleman was in and out of here in about 5 minutes.
It's more important to see the future. And therefore, I ask really also the American people and also the British people forget the history.
Excuse me, I'd like to make a withdrawal. I want to know if I should go to the teller or should I come to you directly. I have some business to take care of here.
Excuse me, schnell with you, Scott.
I beg your pardon.
Would you please come with us? Somebody wants to talk to you.
Yes, would you please
bring me the paper?
Bring the manager to me.
No.
This is not the way to treat a very substantial depositor. When I opened the account, people were so different.
The camera's switched on, isn't it?
Hello, I'd like to make a withdrawal.
Finished.
I'm very disappointed in the service.
I used to be a player in this town, but I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they're put off by the uniform. I want to take a couple of teeth out of my safety deposit box.
Out, yes, now.
Please.
Adolf Hitler. H-I-T-L-E-R.
This is not the way to treat a big deposit. Yes, it's just that I have a number of other appointments today. I have to go to my chiropractor.
Your people have passport or something?
I beg your pardon? My people?
Yes, please.
I haven't seen my people since 1945.
Thank you.
I'm a bit of a traditionalist. Some might even say a fuddy-duddy. But if you want to get service at a bank, it makes sense to dress like a banker. Things were looking up.
Excuse me, I was waiting. Good morning. I would like to make a withdrawal, please. The name is Hitler, Adolf Hitler. You have my signature on file.
I need your passport or an identification.
If you look it up in your file, it's there. I'm certain of it.
And for this, I need your passport because I don't know you.
I know when I opened the account here, I signed all of those. 1945.
She holds her hand open to get the money from the dead peoples. Why?
I've never been known as a quitter. Well, once. But rest assured I'll get my money any way I can.
Spare some change. Haben Sie etwas Kleingeld?
Nein.
So.
If these damn ungrateful Swiss won't give me my money, I've got friends elsewhere too. Some U.S. auto companies made a fortune off the slave labor of Holocaust victims during the war, and they've never given back a penny. There's nothing like a slick set of American wheels.
They have been treated unfair at the time, 55 years ago. But the hell, they cannot blame us.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much for coming out here tonight on The Awful Truth. We'll be back again next week, right here.